So we have accepted the proposed with the status, proposed with the electoral regulations. There are the commissions, proposals for commissions, financial regulations, and official languages. Ignatius, you want to say something for the commission?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just would like to refer to Chapter 7, 7.1. In the bullets, line 3 and line 4, I think these were very old regulations or in the statutes, because in those periods, the Rules Commission and the Qualification Commission, every member was elected by the General Assembly. But in the last decade or so, all these members have been appointed by the President, but the members of the Commission were appointed by the Chairman of the Commission. So I think that since we have moved to this direction, these two should be removed from the statutes. Another point is...
wait a moment, one point. Which point is asking me? Can you repeat the point?
Chapter 7, Presidential Board, 7.1. Remove line 3 from the bullets. After line 5, 7.1, after line 5, the last sentence, however, the Presidential Board cannot take decisions on the following. I think line 3 and line 4 should be removed because these were under very old regulations where both the Rules Commission and the Qualification Commission members, every member was elected by the General Assembly. But in the last 16 years, only the chairman has been appointed and the rest of the commission members were appointed by only the chairman of the commission. So I think the status has changed.
Any comments on the proposal? I think, Ignatius, something we probably have to talk to...
We did hear your comment. What exactly you asked?
I just asked whether we are changing the statute again.
No, we said the first part has passed status regulations. They have to make this for what left is proposals for commissions. It's here. Proposal for status, proposal for regulation, commission, financial regulation, and languages. There's the 3 points. It's in the agenda. We have agreed about everything before. These points left. I said before, we are voting for status electoral regulations, and then we have the commissions, financial regulations. Well, and she's making this point. She wanted to make before actually this point, and I told him it's not now the time because now we are talking for the first part of the status, which is here Annex 10A and 10B was proposed with the status and proposed with the electoral regulations. Okay. Yes, please.
I'm not quite sure the point being made here. Even though the members of the commissions are appointed by the chairman who is appointed, there is still the question of who makes the final decision about both the specific regulations involving rules and talking regulations and qualifications. And I would assume, regardless of the change in electoral procedure, it's still desirable to have this appointed by, approved by General Assembly rather than Presidential Board. Ignatius, are you proposing the change based on the fact that you now think it's the other way around? That General Assembly no longer is the only body that makes these approved changes?
In the old QC regulations, it is stated specifically that only the General Assembly can take decisions on, for example, the QC and Rules Commission. And there were members of the QC which argued that the Presidential Board cannot change the decisions of some of the proposals made and passed at the GA. But in recent years, especially, many of the proposals or recommendations came in very late. And it takes us time for at least one quarter for the Presidential Board to meet to confirm that the changes are acceptable. So in effect, actually, the Presidential Board is somehow, let's say, influencing the decisions.
In that, I propose really not to go to it. Leave it how it is. If you think that something is wrong, we bring next assembly. Leave it like this. It's better, after the discussion that we have today, it's better not to try to make such a change here. I agree with you, 16 years is the same situation, but this is the moment in this regulation. I propose to leave it like this, except if there are people that they think that really we should change it. I don't know if Nigel is ready, maybe he wants to support the proposal. I propose not to make any change to what we have in this document. Because this was not discussed in this, what I call before, understanding that we have reached. This Commission's Financial Regulations Official Language was out of the discussion. Mainly was the status, who has to do how FIDE is working, how we're having elections. All this was the important things. That's why I said before that we are voting for proposed with the staff, proposed with the letter regulations, not about the other thing. So I propose to leave it. And if you have, if you want really to go for changes, we'll go next time to the General Assembly. Okay? Ignacio.
Also on 10C, item 2, aims of commissions 2.1, the second sentence, as well as any specific regulations of each FIDE competition, as said and otherwise stated, we have agreed to transfer this to Events Commission.
Ignatius, we can change the commission once in executive law because they're not in statute.
They're not, okay.
Okay. So what I propose, send all these points that we have, we will inform the federations, and we discuss for the executive board this concerning commissions, this small changes what you are proposing. Okay? Yes,
Just wish to make an announcement to advise people. You will see that Tallinn withdrawn their bids. So the two bidders, the Olympics, the Chess Olympiad 2016 of Baku and Albania, they both requested that it be done tomorrow. So we agreed that at 4 o'clock tomorrow, the Olympiad bids will be taken. So those of you, so you know in advance that it will be, because it's a major thing for everybody. And if we waited to find when it came in the procedure, it might be at 7, it might be, you know, whatever it is. We decided so that everybody knows it will be taken at 4 o'clock tomorrow.
Thank you, Nigel. So 10F, the letter from the Bulgarian English and United States Federation is already for information because already we have made the decision for the changes to the statutes and the electoral regulations. Next office, FIDE offices, we have, Kisan has made the decision after David Jarrett left the position of the executive director to nominate Nigel Freeman as executive director of FIDE, and this should be confirmed by the General Assembly. Do you have any questions or comments? No question, no comment. So, please.
May
maybe I didn't read it properly, but who is the new treasurer? Because those roles ultimately should be divided.
There's not new treasurer, the same.
So we have,
The treasurer is the executive director.
because those roles for the long term, while I understand, I read that there is no conflict of interest according to lawyers which FIDE has checked, which is fine. However, going forward, long term, I think it should be divided.
Yes, until the next General Assembly, we think that the best solution for FIDE is this one that the President has proposed. There is any other comment? So, we'll approve the nomination of Nigel Freeman as Executive Director of FIDE. There is any objection? Objection? Thank you. Nigel, can you proceed?
The next one is FIDE offices. As you know, we now have 3 offices, one in Athens, one in Easter, and one in Moscow. I hope they seem to me to be working well. Mr. Boxall, I know, was asked about the Moscow office, and I suggest that maybe he talks to Mr. Bakabayev, who will advise him about it, what goes on. Part of his verification certainly should be to see what's happening in Moscow, so speak to Mr. Bakabayev, who is the official in charge of it. The other offices at Easter, I think I'd like to take this opportunity, as one always does here, to thank the Easter staff especially. I think they are very helpful, they're very hardworking, and I think that all of you here who deal with them have been satisfied with their work. I mean, years ago we had 10 staff and there were lots of complaints. Now we have 5 staff and almost no complaints. So I think that shows how well they're working together. I think Vladimir Kakayev does a very good job managing it, and the staff there work very hard. So on behalf of, well, I certainly would like to thank them, and I think you would also like to thank them. Since in Athens office, for those of you who are new, apart from myself, it consists of Polina, the dragon over there, who keeps everybody in order, George Mastrokoupas, who was here but I don't think is at the moment, Ava, who is the treasurer, my treasurer's assistant, who unfortunately can't be here because she is expecting in a few months, whom I think everybody also, I know the Verification Commission are happy, but I think all of you believe that she does a good job. I think if those who want payments are paid quickly enough, those who have queries have their answers quickly enough. So there, and we have Ellie left us last year, and we have Maria, who those of you in Krakow would have met, and probably you've met her here. So that is what the Athens staff consists of. I did want to make one point where I was slightly disappointed that the Russian Chess Federation were quoted as saying that FIDE did not respond to their emails and letters or words to that effect. I checked, went back a long way. When checking, we couldn't find any that we hadn't replied to, and so therefore I did write to Mr. Levitov asking him where they were. And of course I haven't received a reply. I'm assuming that he was misquoted. I hope he was misquoted in that, because I think it was an unfair comment. Otherwise I have no other comment. And I don't even want to comment on that. I think you were misquoted probably, but I did ask you and nothing came back from you. But I presume that you quoted in the Russian press as saying that he didn't respond to you.
No, I said those things, I wasn't misquoted, and I will send you the examples. First, one thing that I can remember now is our letter regarding the chess school project that we sent to Mr. Ali and to FIDE. We didn't receive any answer for that, and there were a couple more. I will send it to you, mention.
Okay, that's rally rather than for us to deal with, but please do that. Though I would like to remind you that we had a lot of correspondence earlier this year where you, let's say, were slow in replying.
Mr. Freeman, can I add only one sentence here?
Yes.
Mr. Levito was right, he sent me the letter, I sent it to office and related bodies, but then we understood that $250,000 from this $100,000, $1 million is specified for the Russian project. So it's not related with FIDE. But during this time, you know, I started to prepare Olympiad. That was the reason I couldn't return to Mr. Levito. But he is right.
I'm not talking about money, I'm talking about answering.
No. I couldn't return the answer because I didn't have information. I'm telling this. So that I didn't have information. Almost now here I got the information a few weeks ago.
Thank you. Next point, point 431, CNC projects. I would like to explain to you that from the beginning the original contract with CNC was that CNC, among other things, had the right to organize events, find sponsorship. This part we gave later to Agon when we signed the contract with Agon. So the arrangement, the agreement actually with CNC has changed on this part. And there is here Mr. Dmitry Levitansky from CNC to inform the Assembly about the project what they are preparing this moment. Mr. Levitansky. You want to sit here?
Mr. Chairman, maybe because we have to watch the screen for presentation.
Thank you very much. Good evening, Mr. President, Mr. Chairman, dear delegates. It's a great honor to speak before the Assembly, and I would like to take this opportunity to inform you about Internet chess projects which has substantial growth opportunities on which we are working now. Our goal is to change the situation with market capitalization of chess websites. There is a huge demand for chess information and entertaining on the web. There are more than 190 million links which lead to various chess websites and pages of generally non-chess portals which provide chess information from time to time. Unfortunately, the traffic is dispersed among numerous low-cap sites. We have been exploring marketing research concerning the reasons for such a situation and found out that it's necessary to join our effort with federations and top players and put some lucrative elements into the concept and policy of the chess website. We have relayed this information to the project committee of CNC and came forward with certain suggestions. We launched MyFIDE project, which can resolve many issues, and will also introduce new features and services, which will add value and make chess more lucrative and financially efficient. Basically, what we suggest. First, we suggest synergy. We'll integrate websites of our partners and we create a web portal which will utilize the opportunities which are unavailable to existing chess websites. For this website, we are going to provide the highest possible level of support and promotion. It means we'll have lower unit cost and our partners will have no cost at all. And the last one, but not the least one, is positive cash flow. To us, it's a financial project as well. So we plan that our partners will be able to earn even if they don't have a website of their own. We'll create a portal which will have some specific features that you see on the slide. But it won't be just a sum of the components. The components of this website have been designed and elaborated with kind assistance of the Turkish National Federation, who came forward with the idea of Chess Academy, with the assistance of Mr. Willy Kliki, who provided us with Chess Encyclopedia, and with a lot of support from Mr. Georgios Makropoulos, who suggested quite a few ideas about what this future program should look like. I hope this gentleman will join me when it comes to answering your questions. So, as any financial project, our project is supposed to have certain revenue sources, which in our opinion will be sufficient to support good financial results of the portal. First of all, I would like to emphasize that we consider two main components of this concept to prevail. First, it should be certain policy when it comes to information. We will need exclusive comments and other copyright protected content. Our marketing research shows that we have a lot of chess information on the website, and this information is open to everyone, and this is very good. Unfortunately, when information is open to everyone, it has not much of a value. This is a real problem, because to generate value, the resource must be scarce. So we may have to split information. There will be a lot of free information, and there will be some information with limited access. So we will introduce a kind of information monopoly, which FIDE is supposed to have, since FIDE has the base chess trademark in the world. So it would be great if FIDE could benefit from that. Besides, we are going to make sale of information to a limited number of mass media, and this mass media is supposed to be the most respectable. As you see on the screen, there are quite a few types of tournaments, and we are going to make these tournaments lucrative as well. We are going to have prize money, so participants are going to have substantial economic interest in joining us. It concerns chess players of different levels of competency, so we would create possibility for everyone. It means we have not only information and entertaining, we have some financial issues which will be positively influence our users' attitude to our project. But the most important thing which will make this synergy work is the idea of real social network. From services and entertaining, we are going to introduce crowd sourcing technologies and make chess network a real social network, which would unite people by their preferences and by their financial interest as well. Of course, we are going to have costs. This is a very important issue because the initial investments are going to be very substantial. We have opened financing of marketing research and software development, but there are a lot of things to do, and it will take us some time to complete this project and introduce it to you on the test basis. Our future costs, in addition to initial investment, will include payment for content, and in that case we are going to establish relations with all federations and top players to find out how we can arrange this system of cost management. Then we'll have production costs, then we'll have prize money, which is quite natural if we're going to have tournaments. We'll have support and maintenance fee and overheads, which will include, I suppose, some legal fees, which will incur because we are going to monitor the copyright situation. We have prepared preliminary calculation and found out that we will have to invest up to $10 million, and it will take us approximately 2 years to develop the project. CNC intends to do that, and much depends on what kind of final business plan we'll come forward with. We plan to reach profitability within 3 years of operation, so it's going to be like 5 years from now. We are pretty sure that it's not a very easy project to implement because there are substantial risks. But nevertheless, there is high growth potential. So in that case, as financial people say, we have a real option. Because the results are volatile, it means we have a huge growth potential. So your participation with your ideas, your imagination is very welcome. So we have 4 main components of the project, as I already mentioned. It's the choice between open and limited access information. We need to find the right way how to split information between the open one and the limited one. The point is that the open information, which is free and which is in abundance, is to create the market. This is very important to provide our potential users with free information so they can get interested in what we are offering. But to extract value from the project, we need to have limited information. So in that case, there is a fine line between these 2 types of information, and the marketing agency which we have hired is currently working on that. The second issue is economic interest of all participants, those who provide content and those who use the social network. The third issue is development of social network. Actually, any social network per se does not produce value until someone comes up and direct this social network into the lucrative direction. What really makes social network work is feedback from users and possibility to use crowdsourcing technologies when many people join their effort and make a huge think tank to produce ideas, to exchange their the results of their thought. So we'll be extremely grateful to everyone who will share their ideas with us on this project.